let me silence my phone like in the movie theaters.
I'm not. I refuse.
You refuse.
I
But
refuse.
you're not popular, so you're not going to get a call anyway.
You're right.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to miss a call from a potential doctor or anything. Oh, was that? Oh, I should have said that. That was mean. It was mean spirited.
Hey, we have 57 subscribers now.
Well, I know
Yeah.
we're moving up.
Hell yeah! Look at that, huh? Look at that.
Right.
I'm just trying to find the link to share
Oh,
our page out there.
in the meantime, I guess I'll entertain the crowd. Here we go. We are live.
I mean, well, you know what's going to end up happening? It's you're cool with me talking for 25 or 30 minutes that we're on, right?
Those are the episodes that get nothing. Nothing.
We haven't been on in like a month, and we somehow gained a couple subscribers. So you tell me how that works.
Yeah, maybe we just shut up.
Mathematician.
Maybe we just shut up and they come. maybe we get more from just not talking.
Oh, man, I used to subscribe. Maybe I don't know when they ever release podcasts.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. I need to get my mic closer because apparently it's echoey when I'm further away. Okay, I think we're good now.
All right.
I don't know why I'm whispering.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we are here from the Aches and Gainz podcast studio, aka my office at Strength and Performance Institute. Thankful that I have an office big enough to put a podcast studio in. That was by design.
To fit our egos in?
Yeah, well, if you notice, there's a couple of cracks around 6 foot high on the door up there. That's from my head going through.
Yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Where is here it is.
You got it now?
I mean, no.
How am I the old man?
I just started this right before we came on. Listen, are we going to dive into my day or
no? Let's not dive into your day. Let's talk about positivity, not how much you want to punch people. We'll save that.
So I've been watching. What my family has been watching. This may or may not dive into our topic today. But you said the words "old man." So big fan of MasterChef.
Okay.
So this season is MasterChef Generations, and so there are some baby boomers. There's Gen X.
Gen X's.
There's millennials, and there are
zillennials or whatever.
Well, they call them Gen Z on the show, and so it's just one of those things where I'm like, you and I are 6 days apart in terms of when we were born. I mean, I feel like on any given day, I can be a boomer.
Right, or a millennial, but we are right in the middle of that.
Right,
we absolutely are.
Right, we're not quite Gen X. You know, my older brother, you know, he refuses to include me in his generation.
Was he born in the late 70s?
He is 10 years. He's 10 years older than I am.
Okay. So he's okay.
Yeah. So he does have a legitimate.
I thought you were going to say he's like 79 or something like that. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. You know, and so I feel like if we, I don't. First of all, I don't like to be someone who is, in terms of like my belief system, who is pegged as a certain.
Based on your age group,
yeah, just because you know, I mean, it is political season. Oh, I saw that you supported this person, so you must support all of their political teammates. No, not necessarily. Definitely not, actually. So you know, okay, so you're not Republican, you're not Democrat, unless you must be an independent. No.
How about I call it a free thinker?
Right. Yeah. Right. How about I'm a human. I'm a human adult male who is of voting age, and I will vote according to the person I believe is the best candidate. So sometimes that is one particular party. Sometimes it's a different particular party. Sometimes it's no particular party. So anyway, I think I just because of these, I know exactly. Right, 56 subscribers now.
Lost one.
Fortunate.
There goes that Trump supporter.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I don't know where I was going with that, other than I guess I've been interacting with people of various generations, and particularly generations that are not mine, in the attempt to hire a doctor of physical therapy to join my staff. And
do you feel lost?
there are now it hasn't I have always felt like I could communicate with people of all ages, but this is probably the first time in a long time where I felt like I can't. There is a disconnect between conversations that we have and the ability to have to tolerate kind of not more serious conversations and to navigate those conversations without feeling personally attacked.
It's tough.
It's so and so and I have had it's been basically the response I'm getting is just no response. Is that if people are gonna alienate half people out there?
Don't do it.
Okay, right. It's there. I'm noticing a lack of ability to have conversations when people have a disagreement.
Yeah, the critical thinking skills are lacking, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's why it kind of segue into this. I feel kind of important, like having conversations about in our specific industry of disagreeing. He and I, Hayes and I agree to disagree a lot on a certain things. Doesn't mean either one of us is wrong. We just have different philosophies on what we do it. Now we do align on most things, but there are a few things we don't. But that's okay. Like I'm not going to say, you know what, you're a horrible doctor because there's one thing out of these 40 things that we talked about that I disagree with you on. So everything else is gone. So yeah, you're lacking critical thinking skills is probably what you're talking about here. And um, we as a society do need to get better at that for sure.
Right.
And this is a problem with canceling things and just getting rid of stuff is that you don't have discourse anymore. You don't have conversations where we're like, you know what? I'm going to go into this conversation knowing I don't agree with you, but I may learn something and you may learn something and we can move forward on that.
Yes.
So when we lose the ability to have civil discourse, then we lose the ability to grow, because your thoughts may affect mine, and then we live in a silo, and then that's where we're at. Then you have two separate silos where they don't interact, and anyways, we can go on. This is not like something that we're just coming up with. This is documented stuff that happens to civilizations throughout history. Um, Unfortunately, we're heading down that swirling toilet bowl towards the ultimate demise of most civilizations. All right.
Good.
How about that?
Yeah. So also,
did you expect that out of a meathead?
No. Yeah. I mean, so I did bring that up, not just a gripe, but as more of part. So yeah, when we were coming up with topics for this episode, you probably caught me at a time again because uh, I have not had success in finding a DPT to join my staff, and I've.
Oh, you've had success with them, but you're just constantly having trouble keeping, staying or people going on to different stuff and then trying to build upon that. So
what I mean,
I know you have doctors there.
Yes.
It's just trying to continue grow to that point where you're like, okay, I can back off a little bit,
right,
as a practitioner.
Well, it was yes, but I guess
am I wrong? I mean, I'm trying not to speak for you. But.
No, well, yes, but that was not exactly what I was talking about. What I was talking about is that we have an open position, not because we've lost someone per se, but more that we've grown to the point, and I'm growing, and I have yet to find the technology to clone myself. So we may have talked about that before. Still haven't done it since the last episode. And so until that day comes,
keep working.
And I still want to be married to my wife. And so I'm not going to work more than the 70-ish hours a week that I do work on my business, which is almost 40 hours of patient care in addition to all the other this stuff.
Yeah,
like doing this, right, doing marketing,
which is fun, but still part of your
right
day.
I do enjoy being here, right?
Yeah,
but it is taking out. I physically have removed myself from my office to come here to have a conversation with you, which I very much get a lot out of, not just business wise, but personally. I do enjoy coming here and talking to you about things in the health and wellness field. But anyway, my point was that I have had a hard time finding the right mixture of compensation, for people, which upon doing my research and again now having passed out or given more job offers than I ever thought I would, and getting feedback from PTs about I'm paying an equitable wage. It really just kind of comes down to communication, which I think that is part of what I wanted to talk about today, which is the secret to our success. Why are we at least
why are we still going?
Yeah,
still moving?
Why are we doing a podcast with 57 subscribers? So meaning I do feel like I've been somewhat successful in my career. Hopefully you feel the same. And I feel like I've at least achieved a level in my profession that I am, if it all ended today, I'd be happy with where I am. I want to continue on. I feel like I can continue to leave a legacy. I can continue to make a mark on the community that we're in. But I also look back to where I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and like okay, I wouldn't have gotten here if I hadn't done what I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And part of that was feeling like I am at least within my profession, uh, maybe not with trying to hire someone, an effective communicator. And I've been consistent in terms of how I practice, in terms of the approach that I take, in terms of using evidence, in terms of responding to new evidence and implementing that into my practice. And so I will pause on the talking and I don't know, I'll let you talk.
Well, I agree. We talk about success, and success is measured in many different ways. I think I had a former client of mine who was a very intelligent human being. He was a doctor, and he talked about, and he was a business owner, very successful, but he talked about measuring your net worth in more than dollars, and it resonated with me, because over the last decade or so, I've had some ups and downs personally and professionally. But yeah, made money, lost money, continue to make money, but if we measure our success by purely how much money you end up at the end of the month, I think that's a very, very incorrect way of measuring success. So when we talk about this podcast of 56 or 57 subscribers, the perseverance aspect of what we're doing here. All right, yeah, we're not growing it as fast as we wanted to. It's not where we want it to be, but we're continuously doing it, putting the effort into it in hopes that the effort will combine and get to the point where it starts to take off, similar to other podcasts. Yeah, we didn't start with a name like, when someone like Joe Rogan or somebody starts a podcast, they have a platform. They start off a little higher and they grow. Now he's done a great job of bringing on diversity guests and saying this kind of stuff, but we don't have that. So when it comes to our business, it's the same way. We both kind of started the same way. You weren't given anything. I wasn't given anything. We just built it. We had a dream and we built it. And I started mine with, I think I want to train some people. And then I went to, well, I guess if I'm going to do it, I better own a facility. And then I went to, now I want to own a facility where people come and train and other trainers can utilize it to grow their business. And then they spread. So it's gone this, and that's in less, the last two parts were in the last 5 years.
Mhm.
The part before that was within the last decade or two. But and lifting in the gym has been a part of my life for for the majority of my life. So that's just part of what it is. So you almost look at it like eventually I was going to gravitate toward this anyways. I never saw it coming until the last 5 years with this aspect of it, but and it's just the perseverance of it. And then I think, okay, I struggle. I expand the gym. I triple my overhead. That's fun. All of a sudden now you go from making a comfortable living to you don't make shit. So and there's been months when I paid to come to work. No lie. But now I'm getting to the point where it's growing. And now my next step is, what's the next step? What's the next step with this? How do I grow this to be a more fruitful business for my family? But also, how can I help the next generation of people who helped me moving forward?
Yeah.
So I have trainers out there that are literally out there right now as we speak, training someone. And that's my next goal. Is like, what do we get to next? And then after that is like, okay, how many more people of the general public in the athletic field can we affect by getting more people in here? So I'm just trying to grow it. And I know as I keep pushing and I keep not being satisfied with the status quo, it will grow. We're running into the same problems trying to find reputable staff that fits our philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, when you have, you and I have very similar philosophies, but it's different than a lot of people in our industries. We get together very well because we think differently, but we're thinking the same. So when we try to bring people into our community, to our business, this is my home. This is what I own. This is what I own in life. Like this is part of my family. So when I bring you in here, you have to align with my ways of thinking. You don't have to be the same in the training, but when it comes to ethics, when it comes to how we treat people, how we treat our customers, our clients, has to align.
Yeah.
And then of course you have to align with the strength training is positive, philosophy.
Yes.
But outside of that, yeah. So it comes down to the perseverance aspect. I think that's what makes me tick. Never happy with the status quo, even though sometimes I do, get just I just want to relax. But then I can't. I just got to keep pushing because I have people watching me. You have people watching you.
Yeah.
And I have no one to compete against with myself. I'm just constantly trying to make myself a better person, and maybe at some point I can leave something better to the next generation or my family, or make enough money to the point where my family is a little bit better off than I was growing up in my 20s. So,
yeah, I think the biggest things that struck a chord, with what you just said, with me, or is that right? Who am I competing with? I'm not competing with anyone per se. I am trying. I wake up every day and I do things the same way, and I'm consistent because I have other people who are watching me. Right, I'm trying to set an example of what I think is the right way to not go about, like, my life as a father and a husband, but also as a physical therapist, and as a business owner. And I feel like I have been on the side of people who were just in it for the money. Which, granted, we're all here on this planet to live a life where we don't have to worry about these things. So I'm not, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make a living. There are things there. I have a problem with it in the healthcare industry, where that's your main reason getting into the healthcare industry, because you don't have widgets that we're dealing with. We have human beings.
right,
that we're dealing with, right? So it's different story when that's your commodity.
Can't alpha test and beta test on them. You can't. We
Right.
can't do that.
Yeah. So I think, in terms of being able to withstand the bad days, or the bad weeks, or the bad months, what helps me with that um is I kind of toe that line between consistency and insanity. What I what I mean by that is, because, definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again,
Expecting a different
expecting a
result.
result, right? Definition of consistency is doing the same thing over and over again, while maintaining a course, and progressing. So, because consistency is like a bricklayer, where you're laying bricks and you're building on something.
Even though
Every
you're
day.
doing the same thing, it's building
Right.
towards something.
It's building towards something. Insanity is trying to build bricks with quicksand, where
It just keeps dissolving.
right. And you're like, why? I don't understand. Why is my house? Why don't I have a foundation? Why don't I have a house? Right. So and so what I mean by that is that, I wake up basically the same thing, same time every single day. I train at least 5 days a week, pretty darn consistently, in terms of the intensity and progression with that. I try to treat all my patients the same way, and use a systematic approach as best I can with my patients, in a profession where, yes, there is evidence, but oftentimes, humans are human. There are so many differences and inconsistencies, so, across the board with that. But so at least try to take the same approach to set myself up for success in that aspect, and also to help with, the next person that comes in, and the next person that comes in. So if I can take the same approach with that, then I can at least kind of compare myself against what I used to do or what I've always done or what I've experienced to give uh, some sort of foundation, so to speak. So, and I will continue to do that as long as I see, kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, or
Hmm.
I see where the train is headed, right? Because then, otherwise, that is the insanity portion where if I'm not paying attention to where this thing is going, then we go off the cliff. So,
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to kind of have this conversation, and really for people who may be looking, who either in are similar situations, right, and aren't certain about, yeah, hey, did I make the right decision? It's like, should I have just stayed in my corporate job and clocked in at 8 and clocked out at 5 and got my paycheck and gone home, or should I have gone out, or did I make the right decision? Or if people who are thinking about it, hey, is this the right pathway for myself?
Well, the right pathway is never the yes or no answer. Like for me, I realized early that home life balance was something important to me. And I'm a huge baseball fan. I like to get as many games as I can. I do, and I get there as much as I can during the baseball season. My daughter is big into sports. I'm there at every one of her games. If not coaching, I'm there. These are all things that may not have been afforded to me had I done the corporate route where you say 9 to 5 and you have stability and all those other things. That was more important to me than guaranteed money every week. So I figured, I can figure out a way to make money. I'm pretty resourceful, but I can't figure out a way to make up for lost baseball games or
Mhm.
softball games or stuff like that. So that was important to me. So whenever you go about what you want to do, you look at what's important to you. If money's number one and you're a single person with no family, maybe business ownership right now is small business owner not for you. Maybe it is. Maybe you have a certain leg, but if you can make more money working for somebody else in like a sales environment, there you go. But if you're looking for something where I made it so I could make my own schedule. So you know what? I may lose money by missing out on being at the gym because I have to go to my daughter's game. I'm okay with that. I will never, ever, ever, ever sit there and go, "Damn, I wish I would have taken a client."
Yeah,
Ever.
yeah.
Never. I never once when I think about it. And then one more thing I want to talk about here, this is big for me, is something that nobody really ever told me about. And I had to learn on my own. Kind of like the birds and the bees from, your dad never told you. Yeah.
Actually, the irony is that my dad is an OBGYN, and I never had that talk.
Yeah.
But one day, a book
Just slid into
just
you.
slid under under the door. It just happened to get on my bookshelf, and it was essentially the Birds and Bees book.
This is why you have a PP? Okay. All right.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I've read that book too. So, but no, this is reality
is that what
is
you're talking about?
no
Okay.
imposter syndrome. Something that,
Mhm.
that I've been doing this for 20 years now. You've been practicing for a better part of 2 decades, whether it's in school or
15 years ago, almost to the days when I started
yeah.
my DPT program.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So you're there. And yet there's times when I'm like, they they know I'm fake. They know I'm just stealing their money. Yeah, and the reality of it is no, because results show. It's once you get rational about it, and you see, wow, this client came in doing this, and now they can do that. That wasn't an accident. That didn't happen because they just tripped and fell, and all of a sudden now they can overhead press 500 pounds or whatever stupid shit. I'm using hyperbole there, but uh, but you still have the imposter syndrome.
Uh-huh.
I still have the imposter syndrome.
I do too. I do as well.
And I want people to know that that's natural. In
Mhm.
fact, the more the more the better you are, the more you're probably going to have it. That's not the best diagnosis you want, but it keeps you. You just know that you're not in an empty room. There's I had a conversation with one of my old coaches powerlifting coach that I respect, tremendously. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I do that all the time." I'm like, "Really? The guy who has coached guys to deadlift 900 pounds and squat?" He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." I'm like, "All right, well, if you do it, and I'm definitely not as smart as you, so okay, all right, I'll just deal with it." So
Yeah.
that's another thing there. It's just you just know that you're going to doubt yourself constantly, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think that's part of the mental health aspect of this, is knowing that you're going to have doubt. You're going to have people that say you can't do it or you can do it. Either one of them, it doesn't really matter. The people who are telling you can do it, or the people who are telling you can't do it, it doesn't matter. It matters what you can do. And I kind of went on that. You don't want to sit there and get caught up in everybody just patting you on the back. But at the same time, you don't want to listen to people who are saying that don't have any clue what you're doing. So it's on both sides. So
yeah, one of my favorite quotes. Obviously, I forget the auteur. Is whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Stewie Griffin, who said that.
Oh, okay. There you go. Stewie Griffin, is that what you said?
Yeah, Stewie Griffin. I'm sure he got it from somebody else, but Stewie Griffin said it. I can't tell you the episode, but he said it.
I'm sure that's.
I don't watch Family Guy at all.
I'm sure that's where it originated too. Well, regardless, on
it's Zig Ziglar, by the way. I was being facetious. That's who said it. Zig Ziglar.
Okay. All right. Who's the doctor now?
Yeah. I'm the doctor of useless stuff.
Got it. All right.
Well, Jeopardy, I'm all on it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Zig.
Yeah, no
Captain Ziegler of the Star Trek Enterprise. Anyway, so I guess yes, I don't now I've completely lost my train of thought. I guess I wanted to come in here today and just kind of I guess kind of remind ourselves that we we have done something in this life, and but we're not done. So I want to continue on, and I feel like maybe a little bit of some validation was the purpose of coming in here, purpose of having this conversation of, hey, like you're pretty good at what you do.
We love you, Hayes. You're loved. You're valued. Right. You're appreciated.
Thanks, Dad. No yeah. So
no, seriously though. Yeah, that's the I guess the beauty of being in our position here is we're at this point where we can say whatever we want.
Yeah. Yes.
And so where the ego is no longer running the show.
Yeah.
So come in here and talk about, hey, we have bad days and stuff like that. That's fine.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to listen. I don't give a damn. Don't listen.
Or do. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of come in here because I do I do feel like not only have I done something, I feel with my career, I feel like you have also done something with your career. So if we can share with others the secret to our successes, or at least the secret to how we've gotten to where we are, I think it'd be beneficial. And also to remind ourselves of, oh, hey, we did put in all this work.
Yeah.
Like we didn't just show up one day and magically here all this is. We put in the time and the effort and the consistency to get here. And so if we can do it, you can do it. And yeah, I guess that's kind of what I want to have the conversation as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Even a doctor needs a doctor.
Yeah,
That's a good title for this episode.
There it is. Even a doctor needs a doctor. Put all the doctors in quotation marks, though.
Oh, see, self-degradating humor. There we go. Look at that. There we go. We're talking about the imposter syndrome. Here we go. That's a distraction away from his imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's just make fun of it until nobody makes fun of me anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If I can make fun of myself, if I make fun of myself first, you can't do it, suckers.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right.
All right, doctor.
Cool.
Wait, doctor.
Wait, yeah. If you do it,
tell us where you practice, doctor.
If you say it 3 times in a row, then I appear.
A real doctor shows up.
A real doctor shows up.
Okay, that was mean. I'm sorry, Dr. Hayes.
That's fine.
I value and appreciate you.
Oh God, no! Don't do that. Now I feel really awkward. Anyway,
tell him who you is.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Cutting the mic down. You're welcome, people.
Oh gosh. Okay, my name is Dr. Hayes Estes. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. I'm the owner of Premier Physical Therapy. We are here in the Clearwater and Palm Harbor, Florida areas. As I like to say, as sometimes people like to say, we help athletes of any age and ability level get out of pain, get back in the game.
Yeah, buddy. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Oh,
Donnie
you're
Kiernan.
gonna
Yeah,
talk.
I'm going to go ahead and talk
Oh,
now.
okay.
I'm Donnie Kiernan, owner of Strength and Performance Institute, also in Clearwater, and we work with athletes and common folk as well. I really need to get a better tagline because I don't do it as well as you do. So I'm going to do some homework, and next time I'm going to come up with a tagline. I'm going to run like 2 or 3 of them, and then like see which one works better. Because I'm not very good at this marketing stuff. I just like to work with people. So I got to figure this out. So yeah, good stuff. Also, just started coaching for Largo High School.
Oh yeah.
Starting the fall season starts next week. Ready to go. Lady Packers softball. Let's do it.
Lady Packers. What are they? Is they meat packing? It's Largo. I didn't know Largo was the meat packing.
They have a hog as a logo.
So
does that have something to do with it? I'm not sure.
I don't think. Okay. Yeah,
trying to do my best Donald Trump impression where I come to the mic to the sideways and talk through my lips. Is that working? No.
The greatest Packers.
No.
Oh, I thought wouldn't that sound? You started it.
I did it well.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. We're out.
We out.
See ya. Bye. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're every